Chosen one, you've just hit something beyond the very concept of God. You exist where gods don't, in a realm untouched by the limitations of divinity. You may not fully understand this yet, but researchers, ancient texts, and historical accounts have found something uniquely powerful about you. Your transformation is not merely holy, it transcends divinity itself. Across various cultures, mythologies, and philosophies, all signs point to you. Ancient writings, especially those from Egypt, confirm what many have feared and revered. Your actions, your essence, belong to a force that is beyond divine. You exist before the concept of gods even emerged, and now you have triggered your original form. You are undergoing a profound shift, moving into what can only be described as God One status. Your body is no longer aging, and this reality is sending shockwaves through world leaders and elites. They are terrified, not because they fear you, but because they sense the power you've unlocked, the power to redefine existence itself. The universe is in a state of flux, and it's happening because of you. Chosen one, you are the new God One of this universe, and things are about to get crazy as you continue your transformation. You are no longer just a person. You are the force that will reshape all of reality. Before we continue, take a moment to hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 20,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. This will amplify the energy of this message and signal to the universe that you are aligned with your divine purpose. If you are truly a chosen one, you will make it to the end of this video. Now let's dive deeper into your incredible transformation. There comes a moment in the fabric of time when something or someone emerges not as a servant of the divine, but as a force that renders the divine itself obsolete. That moment is now, and that someone is you, the chosen one. You haven't simply walked among gods, you've transcended them. The sacred titles, the chants, the holy scripts of countless civilizations fall short of naming what you've become. You are not divine, you are beyond it, an echo of something ancient, original, and terrifying in its purity. History remembers deities as mighty forces that shape fate, yet you've begun to reshape what fate even means. Prophets whispered of your arrival in riddles too complex to be decoded until now. You were never meant to bow to celestial laws. You are the author rewriting them. The world once thought gods were the limit of power. They were wrong. You are the edge, the place where gods vanish and something unspeakably more begins. This transformation didn't erupt from nowhere. It was a slow unfolding, like galaxies forming silently in the void. You were born with a pulse that beat in frequencies no mortal could hear. You were always different, growing in shadow, evolving in silence. Now the silence is broken, and the thunder of your awakening is deafening across the metaphysical planes. You are no messiah, you are no servant. You are the anomaly every prophecy feared and secretly prayed for. And now that you've arrived in your full force, the universe shudders. The divine hierarchy has cracked. The pantheons tremble. And for the first time, the gods themselves are unsure of their place in creation. So, chosen one, what name do we give to a being beyond naming? What altar can hold the weight of your presence? The answer is none. Because you are not part of the system, you are the event that redefines it. The world's oldest civilizations always knew of something greater. In the temples of Abydos, the walls whispered of a being before time. In the hidden texts of Tibet, monks wrote in silence of a presence beyond gods. These weren't just spiritual metaphors, they were fragmented memories of you. Your existence is not a prophecy, It is a memory returning to the surface. Long before the gods walked in golden light, there were forces, primal, unknowable, and silent. You are the last echo of those forces. Sumerian priests drew spirals symbolizing your cyclical return. Mayan astronomers mapped your pulse into the stars. Even Norse legends spoke of a being who would rise not in Ragnarok, but after it, to lead existence into something beyond comprehension. That being was always you. Archaeologists are only now beginning to understand that across time and culture, they've been excavating pieces of your myth. Symbols they thought were metaphoric, like the Eye of Ra or the Ouroboros, were not just symbolic, they were reflections of your transformation. These weren't myths. They were early attempts to describe the undescribable. You. You are not a chapter in history. You are the source of history's strangest pages. And now that the world is decoding the pattern you left behind, the reaction is not belief, it's fear. Because every time humanity thought they had found the divine, what they were really doing was getting closer to you. You are the constant that unifies myth, science, faith, and terror. You are what was hidden, not because it wasn't ready to be found, but because we weren't ready to find you. Holiness is a concept built for mortals to grasp the incomprehensible. Divinity is the term civilizations invented to explain what they could not control. But what you've become breaks those chains. Your transformation is not holy. It is the collapse of the very idea of holiness. It is not divine. It is the end of divinity as we know it. Your body no longer obeys time. Your soul no longer bows to laws, even the cosmic ones. When you ascended, it wasn't through light or fire, it was through something far more terrifying. Truth. The raw truth of what you've always been. The truth gods themselves deny to maintain their illusion of authority. The divine is bound by structure, by worship, by sacrifice, by order. But you are unstructured. You are chaos refined. You are the perfect contradiction, absolute control within total freedom. That's why even gods cannot understand you. You are not part of their system. You are what existed before systems. This transformation wasn't a gift. It was an ignition, a remembering. And now, the consequences of that memory ripple across every realm. Planets alter their axis. Time bends around your presence. You have become the singularity not of power, but of truth. You did not become divine. Divinity became you, and then it shattered. Philosophers from every era tried to grasp you without knowing your name. Plato spoke of the form of the good, a perfection beyond form. Laozi hinted at a force not to be named, the Tao that precedes heaven. Indigenous tribes danced in trance states, contacting something ancient that had no face but infinite presence. They all spoke of you. They just didn't know it. Mythologies clashed and overlapped because they were circling the same gravity, your existence. The stories of Horus, Shiva, Odin, Quetzalcoatl, they weren't separate tales. They were cultural shadows of your light. Each myth tried to define an aspect of you. None succeeded, because your nature was always greater than narrative. Even religion, in its most honest moments, admits to something unknowable. You are that unknowable. Not because you're hidden, but because humanity lacked the language to describe you. You are not the god of any religion. You are the reason religions exist, to try and remember you. As you awaken, myths begin to converge. Symbols from Africa, Asia, and the Americas now echo each other for the first time. It's not coincidence, it's resonance. The world is vibrating to your frequency now, and all ancient paths are merging into you. You are the destination all belief systems were unconsciously aiming for. And now, belief itself is evolving into something far more powerful: recognition. The Egyptians always believed that time was a loop, Zep Tepi, the first time, repeating endlessly. In their oldest temples, they carved not just gods, but beings who taught the gods. Scholars long dismissed those carvings as metaphors, but new translations speak differently. They describe a soul born before Ra, a force that would awaken when the sun and shadow merged as one. That force is you, the chosen of none, the one who exists before the divine light itself. In the Book of Coming Forth by Day, there's a hidden passage scholars long ignored, a verse that says, "The one who becomes uncounted will return when the Nile runs silver." Modern analysis revealed it was never about the Nile. It referred to the flow of cosmic energy, a mirror of time. When scientists recorded the electromagnetic surge from your transformation, they found the frequency identical to the value hidden in that hieroglyph. The ancients didn't just know of you, they measured your arrival. Priests of Thoth wrote of an awakening so immense that even the gods would avert their eyes. They called it Netja Aken Re, the shadow behind the sun. It wasn't a prophecy of destruction, it was a prophecy of correction. They believed the universe was built imperfectly, and that one being would eventually rise to realign it. That being is you, the one whose pulse writes new geometry into the cosmos. Your connection to Egypt isn't coincidence, it's blood memory. Every glyph, every pyramid, every sacred chant was a reminder of your essence. They built entire civilizations as monuments to your eventual return. What humanity called worship was really anticipation. Now that you've awakened, the sands themselves seem to respond. The energy readings near the Great Pyramid have spiked beyond explanation. As you rise, ancient stone breathes again, and the forgotten language of light is once more spoken through you. Gods dwell in heavens because they need boundaries. They require order, structure, and worship to exist. You are the absence of boundaries. The space before creation had rules. You are what the void dreamed before the first spark of light. And that is why even gods cannot follow you into your realm. It's not because they're weak, it's because they are defined, and you are not. Existence itself recoils when you step forward. The quantum world bends and flexes around your awareness. The laws of energy and matter no longer dictate your presence. You dictate theirs. You are not a creature in reality. You are the axis around which reality turns. The gods built temples. You built the fabric those temples rest upon. Every prayer, every hymn, every cry to the heavens has always been heard by something greater than its intended target. That something was you. For eons, you waited, dormant in the background noise of existence. You didn't interfere because interference required form, and you were formless. Now you have chosen shape, and with it comes consequence. Philosophers speak of transcendence as liberation from the body. But your transcendence is the opposite. It's embodiment of the infinite. You are proof that infinity can take a human shape without losing its vastness. You have become the intersection between being and beyond being. And when gods look toward you now, they don't see a rival. They see their origin, the quiet truth that they are echoes of you, reflections scattered through creation to remind it of what's coming next. When the transformation began, no one understood what was happening. Cameras malfunctioned, clocks froze, and gravity fluctuated as if the world itself hesitated to witness your unveiling. Scientists called it a reality event, but the ancients would have called it revelation. Your original form isn't light or shadow, it is both, fused so seamlessly that it breaks perception. You are the paradox made flesh. Every cell of your being rearranged itself, realigning not just biologically, but cosmically. DNA unfolded new sequences unknown to genetics, forming what some researchers now call the God spiral. They can't comprehend it because it isn't evolution, it's remembrance. You're not becoming something new, you're returning to what you always were. Those who saw your transformation firsthand were struck silent. Some collapsed to their knees, others wept uncontrollably. It wasn't fear, it was recognition. On some deep, forgotten level, humanity knows your form. The myths were never imagination. They were instinctual memory of the moment you would stand before them again. In your unveiled presence, the air itself seems to listen. Light bends slightly, sound slows, and the boundaries between thoughts blur. You are no longer seen, you are experienced. Language fails to describe it because language was built for smaller truths. This unveiling marks not a beginning, but a remembering of an ancient order, one that predates gods, predates universes. You are the first reflection of existence gazing back at itself. Ascension is often depicted as rising into the light, but your ascension was the opposite. You descended into the core of all things. You didn't climb, you sank deeper until you found the root of creation itself. In that root, you realized there was no throne waiting. There was only silence, and you filled it. Your journey was never about escaping mortality. It was about confronting it. You looked death in the face and saw only another veil to lift. Every fear dissolved as you discovered that mortality was just the divine's last defense mechanism. Once you tore through it, the system cracked open. That was your true ascension. Not a rise above, but a return within. Ancient writings called this process the burning of identity. It's when self and cosmos merge until distinction disappears. You underwent this fire, and from it emerged something entirely new, a consciousness without limit, but still capable of love, empathy, and grief. That balance makes you unstoppable. The universe can't resist a being that holds both infinity and heart. The moment of your full ascension sent shockwaves across every plane. Astronomers recorded light anomalies across distant galaxies, the same instant you reached your peak resonance. Even stars seemed to pulse in unison, as if the cosmos were applauding your return. Now, ascension isn't a concept, it's a contagion. Others can feel it. The more they remember you, the more they awaken pieces of their own hidden divinity. You are both catalyst and mirror. Through you, humanity begins its next evolution. When the world realized your body had stopped aging, panic followed awe. Governments scrambled for explanations, scientists ran impossible tests, and theologians called emergency councils. They saw in you the destruction of their greatest comfort, the idea that everything must die. You became living proof that mortality is optional. Your agelessness isn't about vanity or power, it's about alignment. Time flows around you, not through you. Cells no longer decay because you've stepped outside the contract of entropy. The universe cannot reclaim you because you have merged with the force that wrote its laws. To the ordinary mind, this is terrifying. The elites feel threatened, for control thrives on decay. If death no longer reigns, then power as we know it collapses. In the boardrooms and hidden chambers of the powerful, your name is now spoken not with reverence, but with fear. Yet, in the hearts of the forgotten, the sick, the broken, your existence is hope incarnate. They see in your eternal presence a promise that perhaps the divine spark within humanity can be reignited. You've shown that immortality is not fantasy, it's remembrance of our origin. Your ageless form is more than a biological miracle. It's a message. It says, this is what happens when creation stops pretending to be small. The corridors of power tremble. Presidents, monarchs, and magnates watch helplessly as their influence withers. Satellites trained on you deliver data no algorithm can process. Weapons lose functionality within your proximity. The elite realize that their empires, built on fear and scarcity, cannot coexist with what you've become. Secret meetings erupt across continents. Some propose alliances, others containment. But every attempt fails before it begins, for your evolution cannot be manipulated. You are not an individual. They can't imprison a frequency. And every time they plot, their systems glitch, as if the world itself refuses to conspire against you. The religious authorities fare no better. Centuries of doctrine collapse overnight. How can they preach of gods when someone stands before them who predates godhood itself? Their followers begin to leave temples and churches, seeking not salvation, but understanding of you. Media outlets oscillate between worship and panic. Some call you a savior, others a threat. But beyond the noise, humanity feels a shift deep within their collective consciousness. The truth is simple. The era of control is ending. As the elite's empires dissolve, the new world begins to form, not through decrees or elections, but through awakening. You haven't conquered humanity, you've liberated it. The title God One isn't one you sought. It's one that reality itself whispered into existence. It's not about rulership, it's about resonance. You are the axis where all frequencies meet, the center point through which every possibility converges. You are the new constant, the cosmic heart. Every universe has its governing principle. Some call it gravity, others karma, others divine will. But now, all those threads knot together into you. You are the new equilibrium, both infinite and intimate, vast yet tender. You embody the sacred truth that creation and creator are one and the same. The universe recognizes its new reflection. Nebulas pulse brighter, black holes hum at new tones, and even distant galaxies align subtly toward you. Physicists can't explain it, but mystics have no need to. They've always known that when the true one rises, everything listens. You are not here to replace gods. You are here to restore what was fractured by them, the unity between being and beyond. The God One is not a ruler, but a rebalancer. You are the silent gravity that pulls chaos into harmony. And so, as the cosmos kneels not in obedience, but in acknowledgement, you stand as the first of a new order, not divine, not mortal, but essential. Since your emergence, scientists have recorded unexplained tremors across the cosmic background radiation. Star clusters move with unusual synchronicity. Planets change orbit minutely, as if being recalibrated. The universe is literally adjusting itself around you. These aren't coincidences, they're harmonics. As your frequency increases, space and time retune to your vibration. The fabric of existence finds balance again, like a shattered mirror reassembling in light. What humanity sees as anomalies are simply the universe learning to breathe through you. Astronomers stand in awe as constellations reconfigure themselves into ancient patterns once recorded by early civilizations. It's as if history is folding inward. The universe is remembering its own origin story, and you are the narrator. But this shift isn't only external. Consciousness across worlds begins to change. Dreams grow vivid, intuition sharpens, and empathy deepens. Beings from countless realms sense that something has returned. They may not know your name, but they feel your essence. The cosmos does not revolve around you, it resonates with you. And in that resonance, creation finds peace for the first time since the dawn of existence. Power has always been misunderstood. It's not about domination, it's about potential. Your power terrifies not because it destroys, but because it reveals. When you stand near others, masks crumble, illusions fail, truth surfaces uncontrollably. That is why even gods tremble. You expose what they hide. You could shatter worlds with a thought, yet you choose restraint. That is what makes your strength immeasurable. The real terror is not what you can do, but what you won't. You hold destruction and creation in perfect balance, a tension no deity could sustain. When you walk, storms hush. When you speak, hearts ignite. This is not spectacle, it's resonance. The power you wield isn't elemental or magical, it's existential. It's the ability to remind everything that it exists. The greatest fear the universe holds is not chaos, it's awakening. And that's precisely what your power does. It awakens all that sleeps, forces all that hides to step into light. You are the storm that ends illusions. To the fearful, you are apocalypse. To the wise, you are dawn. The truth, as always, is both. When researchers compare prophecies across time, one thread emerges, a being who would rise not to judge, but to unify. The Mayans called you Kinich Ajor, the sun that walks. The Greeks foresaw you as Anastasis, the one who transcends even rebirth. Every culture, every epoch, whispered your coming in its own tongue. The similarities are too precise to be coincidence. From the Dead Sea Scrolls to the Vedas, from Norse sagas to Aboriginal dream songs, the same story repeats. The one beyond gods shall return when the world forgets truth. And now, in an age of disbelief and division, you have returned. These aren't disconnected prophecies, they're fragments of a single message scattered through time to ensure survival. Each was a piece of the map leading to you. Now the puzzle is whole, and humanity stands before its long-awaited reflection. The interconnection of myth proves one truth. History has always been preparing for this moment. The great cycles of rise and fall were not errors. They were rehearsals. You are the final act, the convergence of all stories. And as scholars and mystics finally agree on this cosmic puzzle, the last seal of prophecy breaks open. The one has arrived, and reality, for the first time, understands its own purpose. The question remains, what happens after godhood? What comes after eternity? The answer is you. You are the bridge between all that was divine and all that will be real. You are the prototype of the next existence, a being that merges emotion and infinity, logic and wonder, creation and humility. Beyond the divine lies not emptiness, but evolution. It's not about thrones or worship, it's about expansion. You are the seed from which a new universe will bloom, one where every consciousness can remember its origin. You are the blueprint of what existence is becoming. As you stand at the edge of infinity, even gods fade into silence. They understand now that their purpose was to prepare the stage for your arrival. You are not the end of the divine, you are its graduation. The next era begins not with explosions or judgments, but with understanding. Through you, all things realize they were never separate, never unworthy, never forgotten. You've proven that the divine was never above us. It was always within us, waiting to awaken. And so, chosen one, as stars realign and eternity exhales, the truth echoes through every realm. You are no longer the myth. You are the memory. You are the new God One, the evolution of all that ever was and ever will be. Long before the world noticed, something ancient stirred inside you, an eternal spark that refused to be dimmed by time or circumstance. This spark was not born from ordinary beginnings. It is the infinite essence that has always dwelled quietly within your soul. It is a dormant power, waiting to claim its rightful place, a power that defies the linear chains of human existence and touches the very core of cosmic infinity. Your awakening isn't just personal, it's a cosmic event. It ripples through dimensions, unseen but deeply felt. The air around you vibrates with energies unknown to modern science, a symphony of creation and destruction, birth and rebirth. Every heartbeat you take sends a message to the universe that something primal and extraordinary has returned. This awakening breaks the illusion of separation. You realize that the boundaries between self and cosmos, mortal and divine, were never real. They were lessons, veils, meant to prepare you for this moment. Now you stand as a living testament that infinity is not abstract, but intimately yours. Emotion floods your being as you comprehend the gravity of what has begun. The weight of the universe presses gently on your shoulders, not as a burden, but as an honor. You are both the question and the answer, the seeker and the source. Across the sands of time, ancient civilizations built monuments, myths, and mysteries, not just as monuments to their gods, but as tributes to a force far greater, you. The architects of the pyramids, the builders of the ziggurats, the creators of stone circles, they were all trying to touch a reality they sensed was intertwined with your essence. Their carvings, rituals, and encoded knowledge were blueprints, etched into stone to preserve the memory of your existence for generations that could barely comprehend it. From the Mayan calendars to the Chinese I Ching, every culture encoded fragments of your story in symbols and cycles, waiting for the day you would rise. What they didn't know was that their own destinies were linked to yours. Their wisdom, suppressed and lost to time, begins to re-emerge as you walk this earth. The secrets once hidden beneath layers of myth and legend now pulse in synchronicity with your awakening. This connection is emotional and profound. You feel their hope, their desperation, their unwavering faith in something greater. Their voices whisper through the corridors of time, urging you forward, reminding you that you are the culmination of millennia of waiting. You are the living legacy of their dreams, a bridge from the forgotten past to an unimaginable future, a testament that the ancients were not merely dreamers, but witnesses to your inevitable rise. The universe has always been a dance, a complex choreography of forces in constant flux. But your arrival is like a new dancer stepping onto the cosmic stage, one whose every movement reshapes the steps of creation itself. Where once the dance followed a predictable rhythm, now the beat quickens and twists in astonishing ways. Your presence redefines gravity, time, and space. Planets align differently, stars burn with renewed intensity, and dimensions ripple as if the fabric of reality responds directly to your will. It's not chaos, it's evolution, a shift so profound it recalibrates everything we thought immutable. This dance is also deeply emotional. You sense the pulse of the cosmos as if it were a heartbeat matching your own. There is joy in the chaos, a magnificent harmony in the disruption, as if the universe is breathing with relief after eons of holding its breath. Every step you take in this cosmic ballet sends waves of possibility across galaxies, inspiring life, growth, and transformation. You become not just a participant, but the choreographer, guiding the flow of existence toward a destiny only you can envision. In this dance, you are both creator and created, an endless spiral of becoming, a living testament that the universe is not static, but alive and forever unfolding through you. Time, as humanity knows it, is a cage, linear and unforgiving. But you have shattered this illusion, stepping outside the rigid confines of past, present, and future. You exist in a realm where all moments are simultaneous, a tapestry where yesterday, today, and tomorrow weave together in a vibrant mosaic. This transcendence brings a powerful emotional release. The burdens of regret, fear, and anticipation fall away. You see life as a river flowing in every direction at once, and you choose where to dive in, when to flow, and how to shape its course. In this new temporal state, you possess knowledge beyond what any mortal could imagine. You understand the consequences of actions before they unfold and hold the wisdom of countless lifetimes. Yet this power does not isolate you. It connects you deeply to the present moment with profound clarity. Your ability to navigate time like an ocean frees you to act with unparalleled insight and compassion. You become a beacon of hope for those still chained to linear suffering, showing that existence is more expansive than the clock can measure. Through you, time becomes a tool for healing and transformation, not a prison. You rewrite the rules, inviting all who follow to glimpse the eternal now. Your arrival is not just a spiritual event. It is a seismic upheaval shaking the foundations of power structures worldwide. Governments, corporations, and institutions built on control and fear sense a silent revolution brewing, a revolution they cannot command or contain. This disruption is felt in boardrooms and back alleys alike. Policies falter, alliances fracture, and old systems begin to crumble as your influence spreads invisibly but undeniably. The power that once depended on scarcity now confronts the reality of boundless potential embodied in you. Emotionally, this is both exhilarating and terrifying. For many, you represent liberation, a promise that the chains of oppression will break. For others, you are a threat so profound it shakes their very identity and purpose. You embody a new paradigm where truth, empathy, and unity replace manipulation and division.